the last thing, if I'm allowed, then
Yes,
you can
please.
cut me short. That's why, not that I have, my God, he's a subhuman entity, Trump, but I am not so at ease as it may appear with these impeachment attempts, not because Trump is beneath contempt. My point is this one. What if we learned anything from great whistleblowers like Penning, Assange, Snowden?
Yeah.
Sorry, it's that the true threat to our freedoms does not come from evil, corrupted individuals, twist their state power for their own interest, and so on. The true evil, by evil I simply mean new forms of servitude, control, domination, are inscribed into the very functioning of our state machinery apparatuses. For example, what NSA is doing, connected with Facebook, Google, and so on and so on. An incredible new network of social control and manipulation is emerging here. So don't make things easier and focus just on corrupted individuals. The true task today is to discern the unfreedom embodied in how our state apparatuses function. That's why I don't like this easy story, corrupted Trump. No, ultimately the problem is not corrupted Trump. Again, my problem with just focusing on Trump is double. First, it's not him, it's the system. And point two, I never trusted that liberal mocking Trump, jerk, idiot, and so on. The big question is, what was wrong with our liberal societies that it gave birth to horror like Trump? Trump didn't fall from the moon. Trump exploited certain inconsistencies, antagonisms, which are already here, which are inherent to the predominant liberal vision. So my point is to really get rid of Trump. We, on the side of freedom, dignity, human rights, have to move a little bit further to the left. And
That's what Bernie says. That's what Bernie says that in every speech.
Here, Bernie is right against those Biden-type conformists claim, let's not move too much to the left. We must occupy the center. But my main argument against this is Trump himself. Trump won precisely by pushing things to the extreme on his side. Even the Republican establishment thought Trump is unelectable. You remember, almost all the great established name of Republican Party said Bush older, Bush younger, and so on. They all said we will vote for Hillary, and so on. And it didn't work. So let's not, that sometimes the paradox of politics is to get real majority, the path is not let's be in the middle compromise, but to radicalize things a little bit. Here, true politics begins.
To reshift the playing field. And also
Yes,
I would,
yes.
and I also really, well, just two more things because we only have a couple of minutes left, but I just also think the other thing that's so important is that his vulgarity and
Trump's, you mean?
Yeah, Trump's vulgarity, and he's grotesque and he's evil and he's vulgar and all the rest, every adjective, and even people like me supported Clinton over him to, and all the rest of it. The fact that he is also quite funny, if the only option that in a television and entertainment space, if the option is fake non-substantive moralism and appeals to discredited sort of public reaffirmations of decency and all the stuff that people know is bullshit next to a guy who's incredibly funny and bizarre, again, the only alternative to me actually goes back to not matching it with its own thing on the left, as funny as it would be, but the fundamental decency we talked about in the beginning, and that's Sanders again.
Yes, but at the same time, I would also say that, one should really study Trump to learn how all these vulgarities and so on, these are parts of his working class appeal. This is how he establishes contact with ordinary people, and so on. One has to beat him here, not with some kind of a high manners liberalism and so on and so on. That's Trump's strength. I think that the way to do it is not to make only fun of Trump's vulgarities, because he is not vulgar all the way through. For example, when he, and this is for me Trump at his most disgusting, doesn't he usually at his shows, when he speaks to his partisans, followers, embrace the American flag and so on and so on?
Right.
You know, one should focus on points where he wants to appear sincere.
Yes.
Now I'm really patriotic. And here he's the most ridiculous. One should make fun of him there, not when he uses vulgarities and so on and so on.
Although it would be funny if Bernie said that he wasn't well endowed, I would go for that.
Yeah, but on the other hand, I know. No, but again, I think that the situation in the United States and in Europe, we are no better. What is happening now in Europe?
Right.
It's so serious that, it's not just a question of one elections and so on. I think the way things are appearing now, if he will not be destroyed by this impeachment, then Trump may well get re-elected. And the nightmare is this one. Let's say Trump is impeached. Whom do we get then? Your vice president, which is, I'm almost more afraid of him, if you ask me.
He might be easier to beat, though. You just watched a Michael Brooks show video. Subscribe to get them all. Why wouldn't you? Don't be foolish. Click subscribe below and become a patron as well. Patreon.com/TMBS. Thanks, everybody.